Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be doing my project pan update for you guys. This is my second update. Just like last time, I don't have a ton of progress to share with you guys, but I am switching out a product. I'm going to declutter something and bring something else in. I feel like this project is kind of helping me a little bit with that as well. It's helping me to use the product a good amount of times and really decide whether I want to keep it in my collection or not, or even try and use it up. This is what I rolled in last time, and I'm going to roll it out this time because I gave this actually a really good shot. I used this almost every day for a full week, trying to try out so many different looks with it, trying out the different colors. I even would come home from work and play with it at night and do one eye a certain way and one eye the other way. Blue eyeshadows, I feel like, at least for me, is very hard to come up with a look. I ended up with the look that I am wearing today because I looked up a YouTube video on how to use blue eyeshadows, and this was the only one that really turned out, and I did it again today as kind of a farewell to this, and I wanted to wear all the products from my project pan, so everything I am wearing is a part of my project pan plus some other things. You can probably see from my last updates that this color here, Seaside, I used a lot of. This shadow has a lot of fallout and it crumbled a lot. I think a piece fell out and I used the crap out of it. So I did test out quite a few of these and use quite a bit of them, but I just feel like there's only maybe 3 or 4 shadows in here that I really like and that I really think are workable and that I can create a look with. I'm probably just gonna throw it away and bring something else in. I also kind of found the same issue with these Ulta shadows as I did with the Revlon ones that I replaced this with. There's just so much fallout with this, so much. So I tried to do this eye look today and I kind of made a huge mess of my counter, of the rest of my face, and I tried to then go back and use the makeup remover, take it off, and then reapply some of my foundation, and it just really went bad. So anyway, I don't think this is very easy to work with, and the colors either have a ton of fallout or they're not pigmented, or they just kind of all had a little bit of a flaw to them. The ones that I really did like are Platinum, Gunmetal, and then Green Machine and Sage. Galaxy one, I swear I've tried this before and I liked it, but this has no color pigmentation. I had to scrape at it and it just did not work very well. Sapphire was a really weird color to work with. I'm going to replace it with another Ulta shadow thing because I feel like if I didn't like this one, I don't know if I should keep this other one. So I'm going to put it in this project to see if I want to keep it or not. This is the eyeshadow palette that I am going to put in the other one's place. It's essentially the same thing. It's by Ulta, but it's more purpley pink kind of colors. And I have not used this one very much. So I'm kind of looking forward to playing with this, kind of like I played with the blue one, and see what kind of looks I can come up with. I used to really like to wear purpley kind of eyeshadows, so I'm kind of excited about this one. I'm also wearing the eyeshadow that I have, again, in this project pan, and this is the Jane Hip Bone eyeshadow. It's one that I'm on the fence on a little bit. It's not super pigmented. You do have to build it up, and I don't know if it's my eyelids or if it's this or if it's the eyeshadow primer, but I feel like it goes on a little bit patchy sometimes, especially if you go over it more than once. And so sometimes I feel like I can't use just a brush with this. I also have to pat it on with my fingers, and even then it can get a little bit patchy. So I did use this a couple of times, not as much as the blue eyeshadows, but I did use this a couple of times, so I don't know if there's any visible progress, but yeah. And this is staying in the project because I still want to play around with it. And since we're on the subject of eyes, I am still working on the Lorac Behind the Scenes Eye Primer. I also am using this on my lids today, and I did make a mark. I don't know if you're going to be able to tell, but I did use up a little bit of it. I made 2 marks on there. This is another product I'm a little bit unsure about, but I'm going to continue to use it until I really form an opinion on it. And I was kind of a little bit impressed that I had made that much progress on it. I didn't think I reached for it that much, but yeah, so that was good. Let's continue with the eyes. I am still using the Clinique Quick Liner for Eyes Intense in Intense Ebony, and I'm a little bit disappointed with this. So I have used this a couple times throughout this month, or this past month, and it has cracked off twice, like a chunk of it. And then, so while I was doing my eyeliner, it just kind of like chunked up on to my eyes and then like fell off, kind of a thing. So I don't know what's going on here. Maybe it's drying out. I'm not really sure, but I was a little bit disappointed in this product this past month. I'm going to continue to use it. Again, I can't really show progress on this because you can't roll it up and then roll it back down. So I'm not really sure where I'm at with this. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Universal Eyebrow Pencil. I have been using this a little bit more this past month. The spoolie on one end and the product on the other end. I'm not sure if there's going to be any visible progress for this one, but I did use it a good couple of times. Oh, there's like an eyebrow hair there. Moving on to face. I didn't reach for this that often. I maybe reached for just a handful of times. This is the IT Celebration Foundation Illumination Powder in, what was this, Fair? So yeah, I don't think you can tell any progress on that whatsoever. But like I said, I really only reached for this a handful of times. I tested out quite a few other foundations, or just repeatedly used a different foundation this past month to really get my thoughts on other things. And I also feel like because it's still winter and it's been so cold that a powder is really not the best for me right now, just because I do have dry skin on top of that. So I feel like I'll reach for this a little bit more when it starts to warm up or more towards the summer. I have my Aziza II Blush and Highlight Duo, and I have been working on this. I haven't used it a whole lot, but I have used it a couple of times. I feel like I'm starting to see a little bit of progress in the blush on the sides. Like I can see that on the side it's a little bit more worn down than the other sides, and the highlighter looks like it's worn down just a little bit, but I'm sure you're not going to be able to tell the difference between this month and last month. Lips. I am still using the Ulta Beauty Matte Lip Cream in Tender, and also currently what is on my lips. There is no visible progress here whatsoever. I can't see anything, but I've been reaching for it a couple of times. I'm having a hard time with my lip products just because I feel like you can't tell the difference, and I don't wear them every day because then it would just get all over my water bottles and I'd have to reapply so much. And at work that's kind of just not really necessary, I guess. Same with this guy. I feel like this never moves. So I do use this. I mean, I understand you don't use a lot of it each time, but I've reached for this more than I've reached for that one. The Ulta Hydra Shine Lip Gel in 18, and I don't think it's moved from the last time I showed you guys. It's still at an angle. I keep it sitting straight up like this all the time. It's not settling. There's my mark on the side. I may have used just a smidge on it, but I don't even know if it's worth marking a second time. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. I still like it, but I just wish it would show more progress. That is everything. Again, I know not super exciting, but I did want to share with you guys that I switched out the eyeshadow and kind of my thoughts as I am using these products, and as I use them more, I'm kind of realizing more things about them or testing them out a little more to be sure whether I like them or not. I will see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down below if you've used any of these products or if you are doing a project pan. I love watching these. I love to know, and let me know if you are if you used anything up recently as far as like panning a product. Bye.